FCC Through the Years. In 1983, Pastor Moses Jesudas, with his wife Nancy of the Evangelical Alliance Mission, saw a vision for the establishment of a Filipino church that would spread throughout the UAE. And so, on September 21, 1984, the Filipino Christian Fellowship, or FCF, was formed in their first worship service that had 35 in attendance. The name was changed to Filipino Christian Church or FCC in 1989. In 1985, Pastor Moses saw the need for a Filipino pastor, so he went to Manila, and in August 1985, Pastor Elmer Bong Tandayu, the first Filipino pastor, arrived. Other Filipino pastors that pastored FCC were Pastor Ben Brazal, Pastor June Pecaña, and Pastor Roslyn Pamplona. As the church rapidly grew, FCC needed another full-time worker, and Sister Vilma V. De Mesa, whom FCC sent for seminary studies, rejoined FCC on June 12, 1993. In 1994, BS groups started to form in Musafa, eventually leading to the establishment of FCC Musafa. On March 26, 2015, Pastor Jaime B.J. Arrojado was ordained as their full-time pastor, ministering to around 100 members. In 1995, the first daughter church in the Philippines, FCC Antipolo, was established by Pastor Francis Camacho. Today, Pastor June de Monteverde, a former FCC Abu Dhabi elder, was commissioned as the latest full-time pastor to about 50 members. In February 2006, a church in Pampanga joined FCC and became the second daughter church in the Philippines, FCC Lubao, with Pastor Jimmy Tolentino serving full-time to around 60 members. The third daughter church came into being in 2008 with Pastor Renato Ren Alcobera, a former FCC Abu Dhabi member. Pastor Vince Pabico, who used to be the assistant pastor, is now their full-time pastor. In June 2004, Pastor Benjamin Benji Masiglat came as the fifth and current pastor as FCC grew to a membership of approximately 750. In the same year, FCC was registered with the Philippine Securities and Exchange Commission. In fulfillment of the vision in 1983, the Tent Makers Ministry was formed on January 26, 2008, to reach out to the other Emirates, beginning with Alain, and on March 2008, FCC Alain had their first worship service. Their full-time pastor, Pastor Michael Mike Murillo, arrived on December 1st, 2010, to shepherd the 120 members worshiping at Jacobites Orthodox Church compound. In December 2008, the mission in Sharjah began, leading to the first FCC Sharjah worship service on March 12, 2009. Pastor Zaldi Cañega arrived to pastor the approximately 70 church members. In January 2009, an outreach in Dubai led to the establishment of FCC Dubai, with their first worship service in March 2010. Since they have no full-time pastor yet, Pastor Francis of FCC Abu Dhabi serves as administrative pastor, with Pastor Zaldi alternating at the pulpit. August 1, 2012 presented another opportunity as FCC Ajman was established with Pastor Sunny Pasha in their first worship service in August 2013. They are currently being pastored by Pastor Benny Delgado. As FCC Abu Dhabi continued to grow, the need for another pastor became apparent, so the Lord sent Pastor Ben Har Pineda on August 6, 2010, to be the associate pastor in charge of the international worship service in line with the church vision of becoming an international church. Further, to cater to the request for a Tagalog worship service, specifically on a Sunday, the TGIS Thank God It's Sunday worship service was begun on January 2011 with Pastor Benji ministering to about 120 worshipers. The vision to establish an FCC Philippine Center was firmed up in 2014 with the acquisition of a 6,000 square meter piece of land in San Benito, Lipa, Batangas. Meanwhile, as FCC grew, so did the children who were now in the youth level needing their own pastor, and for this purpose, Pastor Nestor's son, JC Espiritu, was ordained to be the youth pastor of about 30 youths called Counterflow on November 13, 2015. Currently, as advisor of Counterflow, Pastor Benji oversees their regular worship service every Saturday, as well as the Youth Sunday every 5th Sunday of the month. From 3 Bible study groups in 1983, FCC now has 36 Bible study groups. From 12 to 15 attendees of the prayer meeting, FCC now has 100 to 120 prayer warriors. From an attendance of 35, FCC now averages between 700 and 800 worshipers in the midday service, 100 to 120 in the international service, and 100 to 130 in the Tagalog service. All this is because of God's grace and power. And all this is for the praise and glory of God alone. Thank you, Lord. Indeed, we celebrate God's faithfulness in the wilderness.